Hello and welcome back to my channel, to the 3D section. Today I'm showing you something special. I made a prehensile moving tail, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. The modeling wasn't that hard. The cube is the hip bone that I need in the model, so I can implement it in the actual model. This is the pelvis bone, which I need too, and the next part that I will show you are the tail that is actually moving. So this is the part that I can actually bend and move. It's made up of 9 different parts. For comprehension, this is basically where it is going to show all of the body. This is basically the part that's out of the body, and the cube as well as the tip is not visible. This is the tip of the tail with a little bit of fur on it, or at least that's what I tried to model in this case. It's just a tube, or just a cylinder that I manipulated a little bit, as you can see right now. So I moved different parts of it around and had it in this shape, which for now works quite well. I could improve on it a bit, but right now I'm really happy with how it looks, with the result, so I'm not gonna fiddle with it anymore than I have. And that's basically the model that I use, the object file that I use to implement in the in Daz3D on the model, which is coming up right now. This is Daz3D. This is the Genesis 2 female base model. I painted it white. This is the scene I usually use to implement my my stuff. And now I'm going to implement the tail. So at first I'm going to the tool settings, to the figure setup, and implementing the raw geometry. So it's just right click at geometry, use the choose the object you want to use, and it will implement nothing. What you're gonna do is you have to move the whole thing there of the tail with all the bones I made to the geometry. Then make sure that all the parts are connected in the right path, so that everything is dependent on the next higher thing just in the air, like in the human body. And now that everything is in order, you need to relabel it. Daz usually likes higher cases at the beginning of the word. Gonna choose the correct coordinate system, so it moves in the right directions. Otherwise bending could be sideways and not front back. And now that I've done that, I can click create. Little mistake, the Genesis 2 female model is not in the right place, so deleting this, resetting the coordinates, and then creating it again. And there it is, actually in the place where we want to have it. So next thing, we're going to the node weight map brush. This is basically the tool that shows us how heavy things are, where they move, and how strongly they influence each other. What we're going to do is we are going to first fill the bone selection by group. So we'll make sure that the bones actually produce a weight, so we don't get any distortions. Then we're going to move from the tri-x weight to general weight, because implementation usually uses tri-x weight and we want to use general weight, so we're going to clear the tri-x weight as well. Now that it's done, we're going to actually rig the bones. So again, going to the tools, choosing the joint editor, and there we see all our bones. They're not as aligned as we want them to, so we're going to do that. The white rings you can see are the markers of the bone selection, but first we're going to need to make sure that the tail is connected to the female body. So we're going to choose the female body and then the tail. The order is important. First the model, then the tail. Going to rigging and transferring rigging to figure space. So now the hip and the pelvis bone from the tail, which I have shown you before, are aligned with the original bones from the Genesis 2 female model, which we need to do in order for this to work. So we're gonna actually expand everything. And then we're going to move every single bone. So we're starting with the tailbone, and as you can see, we're using the white lines to move the beginning or the center and the end points. This will take a little bit of time. What I can tell you in the meantime is I used a tutorial video and I watched it, I don't know, I think I don't know, something between 10 and 20 times to be sure I know these steps and I can do them by by myself. So yeah, I watched a few tutorials and read a whole lot in the rigging section in the Daz3D Wikipedia to be able to do this, but I'm quite happy with the result actually. This also means that I will probably start and have hair movable, so I can at least adjust it a little bit to the physical body, but I'm not promising anything as usual. I'm just saying this is where I want to go with this. This is why I want to end up with it. I have to try a few things, and we'll see how it works out. So right now the bones are aligned or almost aligned, and what we're going to do is, as you can see, they're not really aligned with the tail in itself, so we're going to align all bones, and now they are, as we rigged them, in the correct places. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to mark up everything, all the different things we have. Going to the node weight web brush again, and now we're going to make sure we have a nice viewable map. So we're checking that everything is red. Red means good in this case. Making sure all the preferences are correctly set, and now we can actually move this whole thing. You see bending makes it move forward and backwards, side makes it moving sideways, and with twist we can move it's also a little bit sideways. And it's actually twisting is moving each piece around its own axis, around its own length axis. But yeah, as you can see, if I move the parts differently, you get these weird little bends in there. This is something I cannot really undo or break. What I could probably do is make the tail, what I will do next time, what I will try next time is make the tail straight from the beginning, so it's going straight back at a startup point and then move it from there. But as you can see now that I use that I can move mark the whole tail, I can basically make this move any way I want. So they can look over the shoulder. This is what I'm going for right now. And I will have two renders for you later with two different render engines, just to show you, because I will also show you applying the texture, and there's a little trick to it which I will show you later. So first we're going to use geometry selection, select all, so now it is completely marked, smoothing the selected a little bit and hoping that it will move a little bit smoother so we don't get all these rough edges in the finished product. But yeah, this is basically the implementation, the rigging part of it, and she's got a cute long tail to use. What we're going to do next is we are going to make sure that this is in the right place, so we're going to drop the animal tail on the pelvis, so that when I move the whole model, the Genesis 2 female, that the tail is moving with it. Otherwise it would just stay in place and not move with the model. Yeah, so I have two different render engines. I use 3D Light and NVIDIA iRay. The renders you see are iRay renders, while I use 3D Light for implementation of my clothing and props, simply because I can work on the textures better if I implement them under this 3D Light engine. So next I'm going to mark the tail, go to the Surfaces tab, and then I have the lighting model, which is basically just how the light is refracted or reflected from it. Is it plastic? Is it metal? Is it nothing of the same? And yeah, if I use NVIDIA iRay, this whole section is a whole lot more complicated, so I'm using 3D Light, making it matte, using just a brunette, and yeah. For the bump strengths, for bump I use the overlay opaque map, which I made myself. It's not that fancy. I'll show you again in a few seconds how it looks. And as you can see right now, you can't see the bump map applied, because the render engine doesn't do that in the preview. This is the map I currently use, overlay opaque. Yeah, this is just my personal, so I know which one it is, my personal name for it. I will likely improve on it in the next few days, but for right now I'm using this one for hair and fur, and it works good enough for my current works, I think. So yeah, we're almost done with it. I'll show you the two renders in a bit. What I can tell you is that I redid the video for you. I already have the tail in my stash, and I will show you now. Right there. Can just double click it, and now it is on the model in the base form, so in the usual how I made it, the form I made it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy the render at the end. The first one with 3D Light, the second one is the iRay render that I will upload to my. Thanks for watching, thanks for staying with me, and I hope to see you around. I hope to get, maybe you leave a comment or something, or just a thumbs up. Goodbye.